Welcome to our channel and thank you for joining us today as we embark on a fascinating journey through one of the most mysterious and sacred places on Earth. If you enjoy exploring ancient mysteries and historical enigmas, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible content. Today we delve deep into the mystery of the Temple Mount, a site that has captivated archaeologists, historians, theologians, and conspiracy theorists for centuries. The Temple Mount, known in Hebrew as Har Habayit and in Arabic as Haram al-Sharif, sits majestically in the Old City of Jerusalem, rising approximately 35 meters above the surrounding area. This ancient plateau, measuring roughly 150,000 square meters, holds within its boundaries secrets that span thousands of years of human civilization. The very stones beneath our feet on this sacred mount have witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the prayers of countless pilgrims, and events that have shaped the course of human history. To understand the mystery of the Temple Mount, we must first journey back in time to its earliest origins. Archaeological evidence suggests that this site has been continuously occupied for over 4,000 years, making it one of the longest continuously inhabited places on Earth. The earliest references to Jerusalem and what would become the Temple Mount appear in ancient Egyptian texts dating back to the 19th and 18th centuries before the Common Era, where it is mentioned as a Canaanite city-state. The first great mystery surrounding the Temple Mount begins with King David's acquisition of this sacred site around 1,000 years before the Common Era. According to biblical accounts, David purchased the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite to build an altar to God after a plague had struck Israel. This seemingly simple transaction would transform this rocky outcrop into the most contested piece of real estate in human history. But what made David choose this specific location, and was there something already sacred about this place that drew him here? The construction of Solomon's Temple, the First Temple, represents one of the greatest architectural mysteries of the ancient world. Built around 960 years before the Common Era, this magnificent structure was described in the Hebrew Bible as a masterpiece of engineering and artistry. The temple was constructed using massive limestone blocks, some weighing several tons, and was adorned with gold, silver, and precious stones. The mystery deepens when we consider the advanced construction techniques required to build such a structure over 3,000 years ago. The temple's most sacred space, the Holy of Holies, contained the Ark of the Covenant, perhaps the most mysterious religious artifact in human history. This golden chest, measuring approximately 4 feet long, 2.5 feet wide, and 2.5 feet high, was said to contain the stone tablets bearing the 10 Commandments given to Moses on Mount Sinai. The Ark was believed to be the earthly dwelling place of God's presence, and only the high priest was permitted to enter the Holy of Holies once a year on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. The mystery surrounding the Ark of the Covenant continues to this day. When the Babylonians destroyed the First Temple in 586 years before the Common Era, the Ark disappeared from historical records. Some theories suggest it was hidden in secret chambers beneath the Temple Mount before the destruction, while others propose it was taken to Ethiopia, hidden in Ireland, or even transported to a secret location by the Knights Templar during the Crusades. The question of the Ark's current location remains one of archaeology's greatest unsolved mysteries. The destruction of the First Temple by Nebuchadnezzar's Babylonian forces marked the beginning of the Jewish exile, but it was not the end of the Temple Mount story. After the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and issued his famous decree allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem, construction began on the Second Temple around 516 years before the Common Era. This new temple, while significant, was considered by many to pale in comparison to Solomon's magnificent original structure. The Second Temple period brought new mysteries to the Temple Mount. King Herod the Great, the Roman client king who ruled Judea from 37 to 4 years before the Common Era, undertook a massive expansion and renovation of the temple complex. Herod's construction project was so ambitious that it essentially created an entirely new temple, often referred to as Herod's Temple. The platform Herod built to support this new temple complex required moving millions of tons of stone and earth, creating the artificial plateau we see today. The engineering feat accomplished by Herod's builders continues to baffle modern archaeologists and engineers. The massive retaining walls built to support the expanded Temple Mount platform contain stones weighing over 500 tons. The Western Wall, which remains standing today and serves as Judaism's holiest prayer site, consists of precisely cut limestone blocks fitted together without mortar so perfectly that a knife blade cannot be inserted between them. How ancient builders managed to quarry, transport, and precisely position these massive blocks remains a mystery that challenges our understanding of ancient construction capabilities. The Second Temple period also witnessed the ministry of Jesus of Nazareth, adding another layer of mystery and significance to the Temple Mount. According to Christian tradition, Jesus visited the temple regularly, taught in its courts, and prophesied its destruction. The cleansing of the temple, where Jesus expelled the money changers and merchants, represents one of the most dramatic events in Christian scripture and took place within these sacred precincts. The exact locations where these events occurred remain subjects of scholarly debate and pilgrimage. The destruction of the Second Temple by Roman forces under General Titus in 70 years of the Common Era marked another pivotal moment in the Temple Mount's mysterious history. The siege of Jerusalem was one of the most brutal in ancient history, resulting in the deaths of over 1 million Jews and the dispersion of the Jewish people throughout the Roman Empire. The Romans not only destroyed the temple but also plowed the Temple Mount and scattered salt over it, attempting to erase any memory of the Jewish presence. Following the Roman destruction, the Temple Mount lay largely abandoned for several centuries, adding to its mystique and mystery. Early Christian writers and pilgrims described the site as desolate, fulfilling Jesus's prophecy that not one stone would be left upon another. However, the Roman historian Dio Cassius records that Emperor Hadrian built a temple to Jupiter on the site around 135 years of the Common Era, though archaeological evidence for this remains limited and contested. The mystery of the Temple Mount took a dramatic turn in 638 years of the Common Era when Muslim forces under Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab conquered Jerusalem. According to Islamic tradition, Umar was taken to the Temple Mount by Sophronius, the Christian patriarch of Jerusalem, who showed him the ruins of the ancient Jewish temple. Islamic sources describe how Umar found the site covered in refuse and personally participated in cleaning the sacred area, recognizing its significance to both Judaism and the emerging Islamic faith. The construction of the Dome of the Rock, completed in 691 years of the Common Era, introduced new mysteries to the Temple Mount. This magnificent octagonal structure, topped with its distinctive golden dome, was built over the foundation stone, a natural rock formation that holds immense significance in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions. According to Jewish tradition, this stone marks the foundation of the world and the site where Abraham prepared to sacrifice Isaac. Islamic tradition identifies it as the place from which the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during his night journey. The Dome of the Rock itself presents numerous architectural mysteries. The structure's perfect proportions, advanced engineering, and stunning decorative elements represent the pinnacle of early Islamic architecture. The building's octagonal design creates unique acoustic properties, and its orientation and measurements appear to incorporate complex mathematical relationships that some researchers believe contain encoded religious and philosophical meanings. The structure has survived earthquakes, wars, and the passage of 13 centuries, testament to its builder's extraordinary skill. Adjacent to the Dome of the Rock stands the Al-Aqsa Mosque, completed in the early 8th century and rebuilt several times throughout history. The name Al-Aqsa, meaning the farthest mosque, refers to the Quranic account of Muhammad's night journey from Mecca to the farthest mosque and his subsequent ascension to heaven. This event, known as the Isra and Miraj, makes the Temple Mount the third holiest site in Islam after Mecca and Medina. The Crusader period added another chapter to the Temple Mount's mysterious history. When European Crusaders captured Jerusalem in 1099, they converted the Dome of the Rock into a Christian church called the Templum Domini and the Al-Aqsa Mosque into a royal palace and later the headquarters of the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar, a military religious order founded to protect Christian pilgrims, spent nearly 90 years on the Temple Mount, and their activities there have spawned countless legends and conspiracy theories. The mysteries surrounding the Knights Templar's time on the Temple Mount are numerous and enduring. Some historians suggest the Templars conducted extensive excavations beneath the Temple Mount, possibly searching for religious artifacts or treasures from the ancient Jewish temples. Medieval and later sources claim the Templars discovered secret chambers, ancient documents, or even the Ark of the Covenant itself. While concrete evidence for these claims remains elusive, the legends have persisted for nearly 1,000 years. When Saladin recaptured Jerusalem in 1187, he immediately ordered the restoration of the Islamic character of the Temple Mount. The Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque were cleansed and rededicated, and Christian symbols were removed. Saladin's restoration work was so thorough that it established the basic layout and appearance of the Temple Mount complex that we see today. The Ottoman period, lasting from 1516 to 1917, brought relative stability to the Temple Mount but also added new layers to its mystery. The Ottomans undertook extensive renovation projects, including the beautiful tilework that adorns the Dome of the Rock today. However, the Ottoman policy of restricting access to non-Muslims meant that Western scholars and archaeologists had limited opportunities to study the site, adding to its mystique and the speculation surrounding its hidden secrets. The modern period has brought new technologies and methodologies to the study of the Temple Mount's mysteries, but it has also introduced new complications. The site's status as a religious sanctuary for three major world religions, combined with its political significance in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, severely limits archaeological investigation. Unlike other ancient sites around the world, comprehensive archaeological excavation of the Temple Mount remains virtually impossible due to religious and political sensitivities. Despite these limitations, innovative archaeological techniques have revealed tantalizing glimpses of the Temple Mount's hidden secrets. Ground-penetrating radar has detected what appear to be large underground chambers and tunnel systems beneath the platform. These discoveries have sparked intense speculation about what might be hidden beneath the sacred mount. Some researchers suggest these spaces could contain artifacts from the ancient Jewish temples, while others propose they are simply structural elements of Herod's massive construction project. The mystery deepens when we consider the numerous historical accounts of underground chambers and tunnel systems beneath the Temple Mount. Medieval Islamic sources describe extensive subterranean spaces used for storage and cisterns. Jewish sources speak of chambers where temple treasures were hidden before the Roman destruction. Christian Crusader accounts mention underground chapels and meeting spaces. Yet access to these underground areas remains severely restricted, leaving their true nature and contents shrouded in mystery. Recent archaeological work around the perimeter of the Temple Mount has yielded significant discoveries that shed light on the site's ancient past. Excavations along the southern and western walls have uncovered massive stone blocks from the Second Temple period, along with artifacts that provide insights into daily life during the time of Jesus and the Jewish revolt against Rome. These findings include ritual baths, ancient streets, and even a first-century house that may have belonged to a temple priest. The discovery of the warning inscription stone in 1871 added another piece to the Temple Mount puzzle. This limestone block, inscribed in Greek, warned non-Jews not to enter the inner courts of the temple under penalty of death. The inscription provides concrete evidence of the temple's layout and the strict religious laws that governed access to its sacred spaces. However, questions remain about where exactly this stone was originally placed and what other similar inscriptions might have existed. One of the most intriguing mysteries surrounding the Temple Mount involves the precise location of the ancient Jewish temples. While tradition places both the first and second temples on the site now occupied by the Dome of the Rock, some scholars have proposed alternative theories. These theories suggest the temples might have been located north or south of the current position of the Dome of the Rock, potentially on the site now occupied by the Al-Aqsa Mosque or in an area that is now open courtyard. The debate over the temple's exact location is more than academic speculation, it has profound religious and political implications. If the ancient temples were located in a different position than traditionally believed, it could theoretically allow for the construction of a third temple without disturbing the existing Islamic structures. However, most mainstream archaeological and historical evidence supports the traditional location beneath or very near the Dome of the Rock. The foundation stone itself presents numerous mysteries that continue to fascinate researchers and pilgrims. This natural limestone outcropping, visible through an opening in the floor of the Dome of the Rock, bears ancient chisel marks and contains a small cave beneath it known as the Well of Souls. Jewish tradition holds that this stone was the foundation of the world and the site of the Holy of Holies, while Islamic tradition identifies it as the place of Muhammad's ascension. The stone's unusual properties, including its acoustic characteristics and the patterns of its natural formations, have led some to speculate about its possible religious or mystical significance. Modern technology has revealed additional mysteries about the Temple Mount's construction and history. Laser scanning and photogrammetric analysis have created incredibly detailed three-dimensional models of the site, revealing architectural features and construction techniques that were previously unknown. These studies have shown that the platform's construction required a level of engineering sophistication that challenges our assumptions about ancient building capabilities. The mystery of the Temple Mount extends beyond its physical structures to encompass the countless religious experiences and spiritual encounters reported by visitors throughout history. Pilgrims from all three Abrahamic faiths have described profound spiritual experiences on the Mount, from visions and dreams to feelings of divine presence. While these experiences cannot be scientifically verified, they contribute to the site's enduring mystique and its status as one of the world's most sacred places. The political dimensions of the Temple Mount mystery cannot be ignored. The site's administration by the Islamic Waqf, its status under Israeli sovereignty, and its significance to Palestinian national identity create a complex web of competing claims and interests. These modern political realities often overshadow the site's ancient mysteries, making objective scholarly investigation challenging and sometimes controversial. Archaeological findings in the surrounding area continue to provide clues about the Temple Mount's past. The discovery of the Siloam Pool, mentioned in the New Testament as the place where Jesus healed a blind man, has confirmed the accuracy of many biblical descriptions of ancient Jerusalem. Similarly, the Cloaca Maxima, a massive ancient sewer system, has preserved artifacts and organic materials that provide insights into life in ancient Jerusalem during the Second Temple period. The mystery of what lies beneath the Temple Mount has inspired numerous exploration attempts throughout history. In addition to the rumored excavations by the Knights Templar, various individuals and groups have attempted to explore the underground spaces beneath the sacred platform. Most of these attempts have been unsuccessful or incomplete due to religious restrictions and political sensitivities, but they have added to the legends and speculation surrounding the site. The question of hidden chambers and secret passages beneath the Temple Mount remains one of its most enduring mysteries. Historical sources describe extensive underground systems used for various purposes throughout the site's long history. The Mishnah, an ancient Jewish text, describes a complex of underground chambers used for storing temple vessels and supplies. Islamic sources mention underground prayer spaces and storage areas. However, comprehensive exploration and mapping of these spaces remain impossible under current conditions. Recent controversies over archaeological work on the Temple Mount have highlighted the challenges of studying this mysterious site. The installation of modern facilities and infrastructure has occasionally uncovered ancient artifacts and structures, but the lack of proper archaeological supervision has meant that valuable historical evidence may have been lost or destroyed. This situation adds urgency to the need for careful, respectful archaeological investigation that honors the site's religious significance while advancing our understanding of its history. The mystery of the Temple Mount also extends to its role in various religious prophecies and eschatological beliefs. Jewish tradition speaks of the rebuilding of the temple as a sign of the Messianic age, while Christian prophecy includes the Temple Mount in end-time scenarios. Islamic tradition also assigns the site significant importance in future religious events. These prophetic beliefs add another dimension to the site's mystery and contribute to its continued religious and political significance. The architectural mysteries of the Temple Mount extend beyond its famous monuments to include its sophisticated water management systems. Ancient cisterns, channels, and pools carved into the bedrock demonstrate advanced hydraulic engineering that ensured adequate water supply for the large numbers of pilgrims and priests who visited the site. Some of these water systems date back to the First Temple period, while others were added or modified during later periods of construction and renovation. The acoustical properties of the Temple Mount present another fascinating mystery. The platform's dimensions and the positioning of its structures create unique sound effects that may have been intentionally designed to enhance religious ceremonies and public gatherings. Some researchers have suggested that the ancient Jewish temple's design incorporated specific acoustical principles that would have amplified the sounds of prayer, music, and ritual sacrifice. The mystery of the Temple Mount's true dimensions and the extent of its underground structures continues to challenge researchers. While the visible platform is well documented, the full scope of the ancient construction project remains unknown. Some theories suggest that the underground work was even more extensive than the visible structures, with chambers, tunnels, and support systems extending far beyond the current boundaries of the sacred compound. The question of lost artifacts and hidden treasures from the ancient temples remains one of the most captivating aspects of the Temple Mount mystery. In addition to the famous Ark of the Covenant, the temples housed numerous other sacred objects including golden menorahs, silver trumpets, precious stones, and religious manuscripts. The fate of these objects following the destruction of the Second Temple has spawned countless theories and treasure hunting expeditions throughout history. The Temple Mount's role as a center of ancient scholarship and learning adds another dimension to its mystery. Historical sources describe extensive libraries and schools that operated in connection with the temple, housing thousands of religious and secular texts. The loss of this ancient repository of knowledge represents one of history's great intellectual tragedies, and the possibility that some of these texts might have been preserved in hidden chambers continues to tantalize researchers and treasure hunters. The mystery of the Temple Mount's construction timeline and the various building phases remains incompletely understood. Archaeological evidence suggests that the site underwent numerous expansions, renovations, and reconstructions over the centuries, but the exact sequence and dating of these projects is often unclear. Each building phase may have incorporated elements of earlier structures while adding new features, creating a complex palimpsest of architectural history. The symbolic and mystical significance of the Temple Mount's orientation and measurements has been the subject of extensive study and speculation. Some researchers have proposed that the site's layout incorporates ancient astronomical observations, mathematical relationships, and religious symbolism. These theories suggest that the Temple Mount's builders encoded deep philosophical and theological concepts into the very structure of the sacred space. The ongoing mystery of the Temple Mount serves as a reminder of how much we still do not know about our ancient past. Despite centuries of study, pilgrimage, and speculation, this remarkable site continues to guard its secrets jealously. The intersection of religious faith, historical inquiry, and political reality creates a unique situation where some of humanity's greatest mysteries may remain forever beyond our reach. As we conclude our exploration of the Temple Mount's enduring mysteries, we are struck by the profound impact this single location has had on human civilization. From its earliest days as a Jebusite threshing floor to its current status as one of the world's most contested religious sites, the Temple Mount has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the birth of religions, and the dreams and conflicts of countless generations. The mysteries we have explored today represent just a fraction of the unanswered questions that surround this sacred site. The location of the Ark of the Covenant, the precise position of the ancient temples, the extent of the underground chambers, the secrets discovered by the Knights Templar, and the countless other enigmas associated with the Temple Mount continue to inspire researchers, believers, and adventurers around the world. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the Temple Mount is not what lies hidden beneath its stones, but rather its enduring power to inspire both devotion and conflict. For thousands of years, this small plateau in Jerusalem has served as a focal point for humanity's deepest religious aspirations and its most intractable political disputes. Understanding why this particular place holds such extraordinary significance for so many people may be the most important mystery of all. The Temple Mount reminds us that some questions may be more important than their answers. The ongoing search for understanding, the persistence of faith in the face of uncertainty, and the human need to connect with something greater than ourselves are perhaps the most profound mysteries of all. Whether we approach the Temple Mount as believers, scholars, or simply curious observers, we cannot help but be moved by its power to evoke wonder, reverence, and endless fascination. The technological mysteries of the Temple Mount extend far beyond what we have already discussed, encompassing sophisticated ancient engineering techniques that continue to baffle modern experts. Recent ground-penetrating radar surveys have revealed what appears to be a complex network of voids and chambers extending deep beneath the sacred platform, some reaching depths of over 40 meters below the current surface level. These discoveries suggest that the underground architecture of the Temple Mount may be far more extensive and sophisticated than previously imagined. The precision with which the massive foundation stones were cut and fitted together represents one of the most remarkable achievements in ancient construction. Each block was carved with such accuracy that the joints between them remain virtually invisible even after 2 millennia. The quarrying techniques required to extract these enormous stones from nearby limestone deposits would have demanded advanced knowledge of geology, engineering, and logistics that challenges our assumptions about ancient technological capabilities. Recent analysis of the mortar used in various construction phases has revealed surprising sophistication in ancient cement technology. The binding agents used in different periods show varying compositions that appear to have been specifically formulated for different structural requirements. Some of the mortars contain volcanic ash imported from distant regions, suggesting trade networks and technological knowledge transfer that span the ancient Mediterranean world. The mystery of ancient lifting and transportation techniques becomes even more intriguing when we consider the logistics involved in moving stones weighing hundreds of tons from quarries to their final positions high on the Temple Mount platform. Some researchers have proposed the use of sophisticated ramp systems, while others suggest the employment of advanced pulley and lever mechanisms that may have been more sophisticated than previously recognized in ancient engineering. The water management systems of the Temple Mount reveal another layer of technological mystery. Ancient engineers created an elaborate network of channels, cisterns, and aqueducts that collected rainwater from across Jerusalem and stored it in massive underground reservoirs. The capacity of these systems was sufficient to supply water for tens of thousands of pilgrims during major religious festivals. The engineering required to maintain proper water pressure and flow throughout this complex system demonstrates remarkable hydraulic knowledge. Archaeological investigation of the ancient drainage systems has uncovered evidence of sophisticated urban planning that extended far beyond the Temple Mount itself. The ancient sewers and drainage channels were designed to handle not only normal waste disposal but also the massive amounts of blood and water generated during religious sacrifices. These systems incorporated settling tanks, filtration chambers, and overflow mechanisms that reveal advanced understanding of public health and sanitation engineering. The mystery of the Temple Mount's astronomical alignments has been the subject of extensive study and debate among archaeoastronomers. Some researchers have identified potential correlations between the orientation of various structures and significant celestial events such as solstices, equinoxes, and the rising and setting points of important stars and constellations. These alignments may have served both practical and religious purposes, helping to determine the timing of religious festivals while reinforcing theological concepts about the relationship between earthly and heavenly realms. The question of whether the ancient builders incorporated advanced mathematical principles into the Temple Mount's design continues to intrigue researchers. Some scholars have identified apparent use of the golden ratio, sacred geometry, and complex numerical relationships in the proportions of various structures. These mathematical elements may have been intended to create visual harmony and spiritual resonance, reflecting ancient beliefs about the fundamental mathematical nature of divine creation. The acoustic mysteries of the Temple Mount extend beyond simple sound amplification to encompass complex phenomena that may have been intentionally designed to enhance religious experiences. The natural rock formations and artificial structures create acoustic effects including echo chambers, resonance frequencies, and directional sound focusing that could have been used to dramatic effect during religious ceremonies. Some researchers have suggested that these acoustic properties may have contributed to reports of divine voices and supernatural experiences throughout history. The Temple Mount's role as a center of ancient metallurgy and craftsmanship adds another dimension to its technological mysteries. Historical sources describe extensive workshops and storage facilities for gold, silver, and bronze working associated with the temple operations. Archaeological evidence from surrounding areas has revealed sophisticated metalworking techniques including advanced alloys, precision casting, and decorative inlay work that demonstrates remarkable artistic and technical skill. The mystery of ancient textile and fabric production connected to the Temple Mount involves some of the most valuable and technically sophisticated materials of the ancient world. The elaborate curtains, vestments, and ceremonial cloths described in historical sources required advanced knowledge of dyeing, weaving, and fabric decoration. Some of these textiles incorporated precious metals, gemstones, and exotic materials that had to be obtained through extensive trade networks spanning continents. The preservation mysteries of the Temple Mount encompass both ancient and modern challenges in maintaining and protecting this remarkable site. Ancient builders employed various techniques to protect their constructions from earthquakes, weathering, and human interference, including flexible joint systems, drainage provisions, and protective coatings. Modern conservation efforts must balance preservation needs with religious requirements and political sensitivities, creating unique challenges for heritage management. The Temple Mount's connection to ancient astronomical observations extends beyond simple calendar keeping to encompass sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics and timekeeping. Ancient priests and scholars associated with the temple maintained detailed records of astronomical phenomena that were used to predict eclipses, calculate religious festivals, and maintain accurate calendars. The loss of these astronomical texts represents one of history's great scientific tragedies. The mystery of ancient lighting and illumination systems within the temple complex reveals remarkable ingenuity in managing light sources for both practical and ceremonial purposes. The famous golden menorah was only one element in an elaborate system of oil lamps, torches, and reflective surfaces that provided illumination for various religious activities. The engineering required to maintain adequate lighting throughout the temple complex while managing fire safety and smoke ventilation demonstrates sophisticated understanding of combustion and ventilation principles. The question of ancient security and defensive measures associated with the Temple Mount encompasses both physical fortifications and administrative systems for controlling access and protecting valuable contents. The temple served not only as a religious center but also as a treasury and administrative complex that housed enormous wealth in the form of gold, silver, precious stones, and valuable artifacts. The security systems developed to protect these treasures would have required advanced understanding of architectural defense, personnel management, and inventory control. The Temple Mount's role in ancient international diplomacy and trade adds another layer to its historical significance and mystery. The site served as a meeting place for foreign dignitaries, a center for international religious pilgrimage, and a hub for long-distance commerce that connected Jerusalem to trade routes spanning from India to Spain. The protocols and facilities developed to manage these international connections reveal sophisticated understanding of diplomacy, logistics, and cultural accommodation. The mystery of ancient educational and scholarly activities associated with the Temple Mount encompasses what may have been one of the ancient world's most important centers of learning. Historical sources describe extensive libraries, schools, and scholarly debates that took place in connection with the temple operations. The curriculum appears to have included not only religious studies but also mathematics, astronomy, medicine, law, and philosophy. The intellectual legacy of these educational activities influenced religious and philosophical thought throughout the Mediterranean world. The Temple Mount's connection to ancient medical and healing practices represents another fascinating aspect of its multifaceted role in ancient society. Historical sources describe healing ceremonies, ritual purification practices, and medical consultations that took place within the temple complex. Some researchers have suggested that the temple priests maintained sophisticated knowledge of herbal medicine, surgical procedures, and psychological healing techniques that were advanced for their time. The mystery of ancient record-keeping and administrative systems associated with the Temple Mount reveals remarkable organizational sophistication. The temple operations required detailed tracking of financial transactions, ritual schedules, personnel assignments, inventory management, and legal proceedings. The administrative systems developed to manage these complex operations may have served as models for governmental and commercial administration throughout the ancient Near East. The question of ancient communication and information networks connected to the Temple Mount encompasses both local and long-distance systems for transmitting news, instructions, and religious teachings. The temple served as a hub for information exchange that connected Jerusalem to Jewish communities throughout the Mediterranean and Middle Eastern world. The communication methods employed may have included coded messages, trusted courier networks, and synchronized signaling systems that were remarkably efficient for their time. The Temple Mount's role in ancient economic systems extends far beyond its function as a religious center to encompass banking, currency exchange, and international commerce. The temple treasury served as one of the ancient world's most important financial institutions, facilitating trade transactions, providing loans, and maintaining currency standards that were recognized throughout the region. The economic influence of the Temple Mount may have been comparable to that of major commercial centers like Alexandria or Babylon. The mystery of ancient construction scheduling and project management for the Temple Mount reveals remarkable organizational capabilities that enabled the coordination of thousands of workers, massive material resources, and complex construction sequences over periods spanning decades or centuries. The logistics required to manage these enormous projects would have demanded advanced understanding of supply chain management, quality control, and workforce coordination that challenges our assumptions about ancient administrative capabilities. The Temple Mount's connection to ancient legal systems and judicial procedures adds another dimension to its institutional significance. The temple courts served not only as religious tribunals but also as civil courts that handled commercial disputes, property matters, and criminal cases. The legal precedents and procedural innovations developed in these courts may have influenced legal systems throughout the ancient world and contributed to the development of modern judicial principles. The question of ancient environmental management and sustainability practices associated with the Temple Mount encompasses sophisticated approaches to resource conservation, waste management, and ecological balance. The temple operations required careful management of water resources, disposal of organic waste from animal sacrifices, maintenance of gardens and agricultural areas, and preservation of air quality in densely populated areas. These environmental challenges were addressed through innovative solutions that may offer insights for modern sustainability practices. The mystery of ancient psychological and spiritual counseling associated with the Temple Mount reveals sophisticated understanding of human emotional and mental health needs. Historical sources describe various forms of spiritual guidance, confession procedures, and therapeutic rituals that were designed to address psychological distress and promote mental well-being. These practices may have incorporated advanced understanding of human psychology that was remarkable for the ancient period. The Temple Mount's role in ancient cultural exchange and artistic development encompasses its function as a meeting place for diverse cultural traditions and artistic styles. The construction and decoration of the various temple structures incorporated artistic elements from Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and other ancient civilizations, creating unique synthetic styles that influenced architectural and decorative arts throughout the region. The Temple Mount served as a laboratory for cultural fusion and artistic innovation. The mystery of ancient technological innovation and invention associated with the Temple Mount encompasses various mechanical devices, construction techniques, and administrative tools that may have been developed to address the unique challenges of operating this complex religious and administrative center. Some of these innovations may have had applications far beyond the Temple Mount itself, contributing to technological development throughout the ancient world. The question of ancient quality control and standards maintenance for Temple Mount operations reveals sophisticated approaches to ensuring consistency, accuracy, and reliability in religious, administrative, and construction activities. The standards developed for materials, workmanship, procedures, and personnel may have served as models for quality management systems in other ancient institutions and commercial enterprises. The Temple Mount's connection to ancient transportation and logistics networks encompasses its role as a destination for pilgrims and traders from throughout the known world. The infrastructure required to accommodate hundreds of thousands of visitors during major religious festivals demanded sophisticated understanding of traffic management, crowd control, accommodation provision, and supply chain logistics that were remarkably advanced for the ancient period. The mystery of ancient information storage and retrieval systems associated with the Temple Mount encompasses the methods used to preserve and access the enormous quantities of religious, legal, administrative, and historical documents that were housed within the temple complex. These information management systems may have employed innovative approaches to document classification, storage, and retrieval that were sophisticated for their time and may have influenced the development of library and archive systems throughout the ancient world. The Temple Mount's role in ancient disaster preparedness and emergency management reveals sophisticated understanding of risk assessment and crisis response. The temple operations had to be prepared for various potential emergencies including earthquakes, fires, military attacks, and crowd control situations. The emergency procedures and contingency plans developed to address these risks demonstrate remarkable foresight and organizational sophistication. The question of ancient personnel management and human resources development for Temple Mount operations encompasses the systems used to recruit, train, supervise, and maintain the large workforce required for religious, administrative, and maintenance activities. These human resources systems may have included advanced approaches to job classification, performance evaluation, career development, and compensation that were innovative for their time. The mystery of ancient maintenance and preservation systems for the Temple Mount encompasses the ongoing activities required to maintain the complex's buildings, equipment, and operations over extended periods. These maintenance systems would have required sophisticated understanding of materials science, structural engineering, and preventive maintenance that demonstrates remarkable technical knowledge and organizational capability. The Temple Mount's connection to ancient scientific research and natural philosophy represents one of its most intellectually significant but least understood aspects. The scholarly activities associated with the temple may have included systematic observation of natural phenomena, mathematical research, and philosophical inquiry that contributed to the development of scientific thought throughout the ancient world. The loss of these scholarly works represents an incalculable loss to human intellectual heritage. As we reach the conclusion of our expanded exploration into the mysteries of the Temple Mount, we are left with an even deeper appreciation for the complexity and significance of this remarkable site. The additional layers of mystery we have uncovered demonstrate that our understanding of the Temple Mount has only scratched the surface of its true historical, technological, and cultural importance. Each new discovery and each fresh perspective reveals additional questions that may never be fully answered. The Temple Mount stands as a testament to human achievement, aspiration, and the eternal quest for meaning and transcendence. Its mysteries remind us that the past continues to speak to us across the millennia, offering insights into the capabilities, beliefs, and dreams of our ancestors. Whether we approach these mysteries as historians, archaeologists, believers, or simply curious individuals, we cannot help but be humbled by the magnitude of what remains unknown and unknowable about this sacred site. The ongoing nature of these mysteries ensures that the Temple Mount will continue to fascinate and inspire future generations of researchers, pilgrims, and dreamers. As new technologies develop and new perspectives emerge, we may finally answer some of the questions that have puzzled humanity for centuries. Yet it seems likely that even as some mysteries are solved, new ones will emerge to take their place. The Temple Mount teaches us that mystery itself has value, that the search for understanding can be as important as the answers we seek, and that some places on earth will always retain the power to inspire wonder, reverence, and endless fascination. In our modern world of instant information and scientific explanation, the enduring mysteries of the Temple Mount remind us that there are still profound questions about our past, our beliefs, and our destiny that resist easy answers. Thank you for joining us on this expanded journey through the mysteries of the Temple Mount. The secrets of this ancient and sacred site continue to beckon to us across the centuries, reminding us that there is still so much to discover about our shared human heritage. The technological achievements, spiritual insights, and cultural innovations associated with the Temple Mount represent some of humanity's greatest accomplishments and most enduring enigmas. If you found this comprehensive exploration fascinating, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more investigations into history's greatest mysteries. The past still has countless stories to tell, and we look forward to uncovering them together. The Temple Mount reminds us that the search for truth and understanding is a journey without end, and that the mysteries of our past continue to illuminate the path forward into our future. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop seeking the truth that lies hidden in the shadows of history, for it is in these shadows that we often find the most profound illumination of the human experience.